Okay, can you hear me? Yes, I'm using the webcam now, so this should be. Okay, did anyone follow me from the other live stream to this live stream right here? If you did so, just write your answer in the chat. There was some, I don't know, there was some technical difficulties with the other one, so I opened this up. Did anyone follow from here? See. Oh, okay. So Bianca is your name. Okay, very good. Welcome to this live stream. I'm just going to close the other one. So, do you have any specific question about migrating to Germany that you want to answer for me? Just let me know in the chat. Okay, so guys, if you have questions, just type them in the chat box. I'll try to see for the next time if there's any way if I have like a video conferencing. I think this would be nicer for you to actually ask your questions. But for now, let's do it like this. Okay, so the first question is, what could be the benefits of doing a German-taught master's on getting a PhD position instead of directly applying for a PhD with a foreign master's? So you have a master's from India, as I assume by your question. What? Well, it always kind of it's a individual decision, of course. Like, is there any specific PhDs that you are interested in your field that are taught in English? Then you can always, of course, directly apply for the PhD positions with your current degree. But if you are not quite sure yet in which PhD program you want to be studying and you have little idea about the German university landscape, then maybe coming to Germany and studying university, getting contacts to professors in German universities, that will then be the next link to your academic career in terms of getting a PhD, then I think it would be beneficial to come to Germany first to get a German master's. I think in general there will be more German-taught PhD programs than English-taught PhD programs in Germany. So just in terms of competition for spots, you will have an advantage if you have the ability to speak German and you have a German-taught degree, and you just have more variety. So you could choose from English and from German-speaking ones, and you just increase the overall number of programs you could be applying to. But I think the main point would be for you to come to Germany, get to know how university in Germany works, and then get the foot in the door for maybe topics that interest you during your master studies that you want to further continue in your PhD. And for that also have then the first connections, because you always have to go through professors, doctors to get your PhD positions. So I think if you're not quite sure yet where you want to study or what subject you were interested in, but you know that you want to come to Germany to do so, I think it would be beneficial to come to Germany first, just to settle down, to get an idea of what it's like to be here, and then you can take your next steps further. So I think that would be kind of my guess for what could be the benefits of doing a master's in Germany first, that is German taught. I don't have a PhD myself, so I'm not a PhD expert, but I think this would be the main advantage for you. Is this helpful, or do you have any more questions? If you have more questions, just type them. I will read the next question. Is from Gobalan. Can a foreigner in Poland study in Germany without a visa? That is, well, if you have a visa for an EU country, you are able to travel without any restrictions within the EU zone. So that would be possible. Getting a do you mean study full-time, or do you mean as an exchange? Because for an exchange, the answer is yes. I mean, there are different exchange programs within Europe between universities, and students can go to different countries to study for a semester or two at partner universities. Is this what you mean? Or do you mean switching from a university in Poland to full-time? Okay, full-time. Actually, I'm not quite sure. Let me just check for you. I would think that you would have to apply to a German university, and then if you get accepted, sorry, you would then be able to get a residence permit, and because you are already in Europe, you wouldn't have to apply for any visa. You could just come to Germany and apply for a residence permit here directly. Is an admission for a German university. Let me, first of all, I write it down because it's a good question. Change from EU university to German. And maybe the best, Gobalan, if you would write me a quick email to this address, and then I can back a maybe more detailed answer after this live stream. So I will do maybe a bit more research than send you the results. Okay, so you can just write me an email to the email address I just sent you, and I will look now, and I will also send you a maybe more detailed answer later on. Change. Okay, Gobalan, I will look into your question. I'll send you an answer after this live stream. Is this okay? I will answer the questions that I have the answer in my head already that come up in the chat. So I will take time afterwards to answer your question if no further questions come up here. The question is, what are the requirements for getting a German citizenship? So you will need to have lived in Germany for quite a while. You need to have had I think a permanent residency or at least a residence permit for a couple of years. You can apply for permanent residency, after 4 years of having a residence permit. If you have the blue card, you are able to get a permanent residency after 33 months or after 21 months if you are able to speak at a B1 level. I will just check what the exact requirements are for citizenship. Okay. Okay, so what you need to have is that you need to have lived in Germany for 8 years and done so legally. So you need to have a permanent residency or a residence permit, either of those for the last 8 years. You will need to show that you are able to finance your life, so you're not on any type of government welfare payment system, but you are able to finance your own lives, or you have enough within your family to finance your life. You have sufficient German skills, at least on a level of B1. You need to have passed the Einbürgerungstest, which is the like a citizenship test. So it is, I think, a couple of dozen of questions about German society, German history, and all those kinds of things. But you should be able to answer those pretty easily if you have lived in Germany for years. So that is something else. And you are not convicted of any felonies, so there's no lawsuit or anything pending against you, and nothing in the past has happened to you. And you need to have, or you need to give up your current citizenship. So for a couple of EU countries, there is the chance of having dual citizenship. Me, for example, I have the Finnish and the German citizenship, but that is because it's the EU and there are special arrangements with some countries that Germany has. So if you are from outside the EU, in almost all cases, you would have to give up your current citizenship and become a German citizen. I think that it is easier, or the process is faster if you are married to someone from Germany. Let me just quickly look that up. Yeah, so I think it's 2 years. So if you are married to a German person, man or woman, whatever is your case, then you okay. So you need to have been in Germany for at least 3 years. You need to have been married to a German person for at least 2 years, and those would be the requirements for getting German citizenship. Getting German citizenship in Germany. Yes, I will also. Yes, I can send you a link to websites where this is also explained afterwards. Just quickly write me an email to the email I put in the chat box, and I will make sure to get back to you if this is of interest to you and a topic that you would like to further investigate for the future. Okay, so I will send Kobolan something, and the Anchor will send something. Very cool. Then we have Felix Joseph. It's a cool name, by the way. I have completed my master's in commerce from India. I would like to do one more master's in Germany. Can I get any preference for admission in public universities? Can I get any preference for admission what do you exactly mean by your question? Like, do I recommend any university specifically, or do you have questions about the process? Could you maybe a little clarify what exactly your question is about? So you would like to know which universities I can recommend to you. Is that the question? Yes. Well, this is, I think, I get the question a lot, and I think you should flip the other way around. The main thing is, what are you interested in? Which subject do you want to study in? Where do you want to go in the future? You want to work in marketing, or you want to working in the intersection of business and IT? Like, where exactly you want to go? And finance and accounting. Okay. In Germany, it is maybe different than in other countries. It's not like there is like a very strong ranking between universities, and if you get into these universities, you will have a great life and every career opportunity. And if you go into these universities, you will have no chance. In Germany, there is a lot more balance between universities. You can be sure that the quality of program and the reputation of the universities will be not as big as in other countries, maybe like in India or in the US or UK, where you need to go to top universities. If you can get admission to a public university, especially in a field such as business, where there is no need to have access to research, laboratories, technical equipment, all those kinds of things, where like university really can have an advantage by having really hard factors. Business is a very soft area in that way. And especially finance and accounting, like the principles will be the same everywhere. There's not one university that teaches it really good, another one doesn't teach it as well. There might be some reputational aspects that you think are important. I think the most important thing, especially looking forward to getting a job afterwards, is about you. Like, what skills do you have? What experience do you have? And how good do you speak German? Those are the three main determinants for success in a business career in Germany. If I was an employer, I would always get the internship or the job to someone who has experience, who has skills, who is good on an interpersonal level, and maybe didn't go to as big of a school, rather than someone who went to a so-called very good school, but doesn't have those experiences, those skills, those language skills, those interpersonal skills. So I will post a great website where you can, I don't know if you know it, but it is called hochschulkompass.de. And it has an overview of all the study programs in Germany available. And you can use it to filter according to your preferences, and you can see an overview of all the programs that might be possible for you to study in. And once you see that, just do research. Just look at the universities, look at the cities. Right? Do you want to live in a big city? Do you want to live in a smaller city? I mean, those things matter as well. So do you want to study in a German taught or an English taught program? Like, what is the Are you able to attend a German talk program? English. Okay, so this is of course narrowing down your chances a lot in terms of what programs you can attend, and also to keep in mind there will be English speaking programs for that as well. But if you want to have a career in Germany afterwards, you need to speak German on a good level, especially in the business field. Especially in the business field. If you are a more of a technical research type of background, then without German might be easier. But even then, it is the most important skill. It is the most important skill to speak the language. So let me just finance and accounting. I'll just quickly filter on the website results for you, and then you have a first step of programs that might be suitable for you in terms of what they teach and the language of the program as well. Okay, so I'll just share this link with you. 1 second. Okay, I'll share a link with you from the page I just showed you. And what I did, it's too long. Okay, what we do, save this. Felix, you can also send me an email to my email address. I'll just write it down here again. And I will share the link with you. It's too long for this chat box to put in. I basically went to hochschulkompass.de, put in finance, degree masters, type of school public, and language of the program is English, and it shows you all the results. So this is like a step, first step into looking, okay, what kind of programs are there even possible for me, and then you could go into looking, okay, which of those programs would be interesting for me. And it's not too many, it is 28. So of course, if you limit it down to English programs, it is less than if you would include the German ones. But I will send you the link afterwards. And just one more thing, you can, if you haven't done yet, I will also share the link to the Facebook group that you can join, where you can also always ask the questions and get answers to them. Let me just share them right here. Okay, this is the question. Okay, so there are 2 new questions. Let me just continue quickly with Joseph. Heard that some universities prefer 4-year bachelor programs for getting admission. For masters in India, bachelor programs are 3-year only. I'd rather okay. So in Germany, a bachelor is 3 years only as well. And the main thing is that your university and your degree need to be officially recognized in Germany as well. And there is a website called Anabin. I'm not sure, do you know what Anabin is? If not, I can send you the link. It is basically a database by the German Ministry of Education that lists all schools, all universities from all around the world, and shows whether or not the university is recognized or not. And it also shows for different degrees from the university whether or not the degree is recognized. So usually universities will know that, but it's always good to, or you have to look at Anabin and see, okay, is my university actually recognized? Is my degree actually recognized or not as a bachelor's degree? And oftentimes, or you will need this as well when you apply for any type of study-related visas, for job seeker visa as well. You will always need to show a printout at least of the Anabin page for your university, so that they can see that it's actually recognized. Yes, it is only in German. It is one of the worst to handle websites, databases you can imagine. It is very poorly designed. It's very poorly run. It's only in German, so people actually who need it can't often access it. I agree with you. I'm working on an ebook, a document to where all of this is put in, and I will also detail the whole Anabin website, how to use it, what to look for, what to put in where, so you can manage it. But yes, I agree, it's very complicated. I would change it a lot if I was in charge of it. But yeah, so the number of years, it's not really a question. It's 3 years in Germany as well. What is in Anabin is the important thing. If there's nothing in Anabin about your degree, you will need to get an individual assessment by an institution called ZAB in Germany. So that means that you send your documents or copies of your documents to Germany, and they will look at it, and they will give you an individual evaluation of your documents. Say, okay, this is this and this you can do with it. So ZAB, or actually, and you can also use UniAssist for something called VPD. It's another document similar in the way you send your documents to UniAssist, and they will have an evaluation and tell you what you can do with it. So I saw that you just sent me an email. I will include those things in the email as well. Yes, but this is, you will need to look up if your degree is recognized or not. That is the main point. So Bianca, yes, so what's the difference between a study preparation visa and a student applicant visa? Yeah, so this is a kind of blurred line. It has been changed a bit, and here, let me open up the law so I can give you an exact feedback. So there were some tweaks in the migration law in Germany at the beginning of this year. Basically, what it means is the study preparation visa is very closely linked to the study visa, and that is meant for anyone who is coming to Germany to prepare for their future studies. So if you come here and you have an admission to a Studienkolleg, or you have a conditional admission from a university that states that you need to attend a language course, then you can come to Germany to attend that language course, because all of these things, Studienkolleg, language course, are preparing you to studying. That's why it's like a study preparation visa. I will, yes. Okay, so loading. And the study applicant visa is for anyone who doesn't yet have any admission to a Studienkolleg or to a language course, but wants to come to Germany to how to say, take the next steps into preparing their or to get a orientation for themselves on what their next steps could be. So let me just quickly look up the exact definitions in the law. They're very closely linked. The study applicant visa is valid for 9 months, so initially for 3 months, but then you can extend it for another 6 months, so it's 9 months. And as soon as you have got admission to university, Studienkolleg, or a preparatory language course, you are then able to switch that into a residence permit for study preparation or for studying. So that is the benefit, the advantage of it. You can come to Germany and then you can switch your visa within, or your residence permit within Germany. So let me just quickly. Okay, so for the study applicant visa, it is the law that you can get it if you have the educational. Okay, so it says that you can get the study applicant visa if you have the educational requirements and language requirements to study in Germany. So let's say you know that you can study in Germany already. You don't have to go to a Studienkolleg or language course or anything. You can come to Germany, but you have not gotten an admission from a university yet, but you know you can. Then you can come to Germany, or if during your stay in Germany you want to get either the educational qualification or the language qualification to do so. So this would be Studienkolleg or language course. And if those things are in place, so it's kind of for someone who doesn't have anything final yet, but you know that you want to attend Studienkolleg or you want to attend the language course, you have the first contacts with them, or you maybe apply to university already, and you can then come to Germany with the study applicant visa. And for all of that, what you also need is that you need to have a source of income to finance your life. So a blocked account would be the appropriate thing at most times, so that it is made sure that you are actually able to finance your life in Germany. So this is It's kind of a blurry line still, but okay. You understand what I meant? Same goes for visa regulations document as well. It is available only in German. Would be great if we make it so. yeah. It is. Yeah, a lot of German. So the study applicant visa, I'm not always like, it's different from country to country. I'm not exactly sure what it is for India, but according to the law, if you are able, you can show that you're allowed to study in Germany with a Anabin printout, a VDP document by UniAssist. You can show that you have the necessary language skills to study in Germany, and you could use that visa to come to Germany, apply for universities, and if you get admission within those 9 months, you can then change that visa to a study residence permit, or if you get admission to a Studienkolleg or a language course that is preparing you for studying, and then you can also already come here. And the study preparation visa is something similar. It is most often used if you already have something tangible, like if you already got the admission to Studienkolleg, then you can directly apply for that study preparation visa and come here. So I will also make sure to line out how it works in the document. I think it's a little better to understand if it's maybe drawn out as a graphic, so you know, guys know what it actually is. I myself have to look it up every time I talk about it. There's another question: which university is better, research universities or universities of applied sciences? Yes, so that's also a big topic. So universities of applied sciences are called FH, so FH in Germany, which means a Fachhochschule, and they have been existing for a while, and they weren't always the same as universities, but now with all the reforms in the last decades, it is now the same in terms of what your degree means. Like a bachelor's degree is a bachelor's degree. Universities of applied sciences are often more practical based, so they are more oriented to getting you ready for the work environment, the workplace. They are a little less theory and more practice based. So if you want to study business at a University of Applied Sciences, it is often the case that you actually then really want to go into a workplace and get a job. Whereas if you want to continue an academic career, get a PhD, those kinds of things, usually the path is that you go through a university. So it's like the normal established universities that are often more research focused. I mean, the majority of research is still done at the normal research universities and not the universities of applied sciences, but that also is shifting a little bit. In terms of employability, employers are more and more seeing those two as exact equals. There might be some areas like high-class, top-notch management consulting, like McKinsey, BCG, where they might still say, okay, we actually prefer university graduates more than University of Applied Science graduates, because our work is very analytically driven, and therefore we need to have people who have more like maybe a research kind of mind and approach to work to do so. However, let me be the case, I went to University of Applied Sciences and I did work in a very tier 1 management consulting firm. I still got the job based on my experience I got after university, and I did just fine. So if you want to go to research academia, maybe normal university is maybe more the path for you, more practical approach, maybe University of Applied Sciences, but those two are getting more and more equal, basically are equal already so far. Sometimes then if you want to switch maybe from a University of Applied Science bachelor to a master at a university, you would always have to look if you fulfill the requirements that the program has. Oftentimes maybe more research more research-driven subjects are taught at the university batch level than University of Applied Science level. So the switch might not always be as easy, but you would have to look into that in detail. But on a general line, you can always then switch from a University of Applied Science to a university. There is no law, nothing preventing you from doing so. Okay, two more questions. Is there the possibility of getting rejection from university if I applied for Masters in Finance, as I already have one Masters in Finance from India itself? I wouldn't. I'm not sure that that would be the case. I mean, I think they would. I mean, you will most certainly always have to write a letter of motivation. So it also, of course, you would have to line out what it is that you're looking for, especially in this master's program, why you want to get an additional one on top of the one that you already have. And of course, they will always look at your grades, grades from your bachelor degree, and they might also look into work experience if that is part of the admission requirements from the university. I mean, there's always possibilities for anything in life, but just because there is a possibility doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. If there's a program you really want to get into, just apply for it. Just apply for it. Think about why you want to get into that program. If you really don't want to get into a program, then writing a letter of motivation is oftentimes a lot more difficult. Really think about why you want to get into a program, and then this shouldn't be an obstacle. There's nothing preventing people from doing this many times. Okay, if I have an admit for a German taught master's already, but still have 6 months to go, can I apply for a study preparation visa to come now and learn German better? I still have 6 months to go. I don't think that that is possible then, because the visa is meant for you to prepare yourself to get admission to university, but you already have admission to university. So this is, I mean, I understand your reasoning why you would want to come here. But I don't think that this would be something that wouldn't give you a visa for study preparation, I think. But it's an interesting question, though. I'm not quite sure. I'll write that down. I'll see if I can do some research. It would be interesting for me as well. I don't know. Maybe if does your university offer any preparatory language courses? Because with that, you might also be able to already come to Germany earlier to prepare yourself. Is this something that the university mentioned, that you need to improve your German and they offer courses? If so, then the case might be easier for you. But I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. But I'll write it down. It's interesting. Okay, so I have a couple of things written down. I will. Okay, now I have time to answer the question about changing from Poland to Germany. Okay, so I think the question about changing is a little bit more detailed. I'll look into it afterwards. Okay, so they do offer courses as part of the program, but it's basically an unconditional admit since I had applied with the C1. Okay. Not quite sure then if the study preparation visa would be possible for you. Think about what scenario that could include. I mean, you would have to book a language school at least if it were possible to come to Germany. I think you couldn't just come to Germany just without anything and just be saying, hey, I'm here earlier. I think you would have to book a language course, intensive German course, the least. But yeah, or you already locked out. Okay, so the next, can I get admission easily for German taught programs in public university rather than English taught programs? I mean, there are a lot more German taught programs in Germany. And there are a lot more German taught programs that don't have any admission restrictions. So that means that if you have a bachelor's degree and the bachelor's degree had sufficient amount of certain subjects in it, then you will be admitted to the university, given the assuming that you hand in all the right documents in the right format in the right time. All the formalities are in place. You have the bachelor with the certain subjects that you were taught, independent of your grades in the subject, but they were taught, and you hand it in. Then you will get admission. For English taught programs, that is very rarely the case because they have fewer and they have more applicants and they then have some kind of admission restriction where you need to have a certain grade, certain work experience, and whatnot. And for German taught courses, I mean, there are schools that might be a little bit smaller, they don't have as many applicants, so the requirements to get in are not as difficult. So yes, if you have difficulties getting into English taught programs, the best step or the biggest step is to open up and be able to go to German taught programs as well. So to actually study and start studying in German taught programs, C1 is needed. Sometimes some universities, they give you a conditional admission if you have like a B2 level. So they say, okay, academically you are qualified, but your language is not there yet. But we do offer a preparatory language course, for example, where you come earlier, you study, you pass the language test, which at universities they often use DSH test, DSH in English letters, and which you prove that you are able to speak German at a C1 level. And with this, then you can actually then really start studying once the semester starts. But C1 is the level that you need to study at a German course. It's not always the level that you need to have when applying. Like I said, it can be a little lower if the university says, okay, you can. You get a conditional admission under the condition that you improve your German to a level of C1. So mostly B2 probably is then the level at least needed during the application in order to get the admission. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. We're getting close to 1 hour mark, so I'll send some links afterwards to Felix about the ANABIM and the VPD. I will send the information about the change from another country to a German university. Is there anything else you guys would like to know about? doesn't sound like it. So I will do these. Is work experience mandatory to apply for a master's program? Depends on the master's program. Sometimes, or most often, internships are needed at least to be able to apply for it. So a minimum time of internships. Sometimes work experience will be needed as well if you apply for an MBA. So there's MBA, there's Master of Science. Master of Science is more like the immediate continuation of a bachelor's degree. So we'll need little to almost no work experience to continue it. If you go for an MBA in Germany, it is mostly for people who already have some work experience, around 4 to 5 years mostly, who oftentimes don't have a business background, who then want to study in a business subject. So that is for like an MBA. But in general, some work experience is required, especially in the business field. You will need some at least internship experience, but the exact requirements will always have to be looked up on a program by program basis. Okay, so yeah, thank you for all the questions. You were 4 people, but very engaged in it. So this is something I will do more often, more regularly in the future, maybe once a week. Let's see. I will post a link to the Facebook group that you can join if you still have questions. And like I said, there will be information, ebook, PDF, document in the future where all those things I'm explaining right now will be shown in more detail and with links and explanations on how to do it to answer your questions, save your time and money by researching yourself or giving money to some education consultants who really don't understand what they're talking about. So this will be coming soon. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to join the next one. Tell your friends and everyone you know who could benefit from this as well. And with this, I wish you a nice rest of your day. And yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.